getting old, buddy. You know you're getting old. When?
Did you see the old Saved by the Bell trick that Amy did on the video? On the YouTube?
I did, buddy.
Best opener
She's
of all
the master. She is a master of what she does.
Crushing it.
Take it away from under 4 left. The barn is alive again. 52-50.
Yeah, sports show. Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head,
She's
but it's not
amazing.
about
Did
a
you
get her money this
T3.
week?
I like the look.
But I got.
Yeah, I said
No.
You said the money?
No. I told you I got her on auto payments now, so we don't
Got the-
forget.
So I owe you money.
I didn't want to.
It's
start.
been a rough week.
Listen,
okay. Listen,
I didn't want
it's been a rough
I
week.
didn't want to start. Well, listen, you can come up with all the excuses you want, but at the end of the day, the world is still rotating, Mitch, on its axes. I'll send you the bill in a little bit. And that's the bill for the sports show. Sports show at Sports Show Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Sports Show TV. The Facebook. I mean, it's whatever you want. It's there. It's how you want it. CJSW, second Tuesday of every month. I don't know what you want from us.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Episode 244 coming at you fast and hard this morning. Cold Saturday morning here in Calgary. We've told you over the last couple of weeks, Dimitri and I, couple months now, we've been coming in early to do these shows because, hey, that's how much we love you. To be honest, it's really the only time we have time to do it, and that's what we like to do.
You can tell it's the mornings.
Wow. It's early.
Wow.
It's early, but that's how much we love you guys. So, we're going to do this pod on a little bit of a broken heart today. Episode 230, you guys that know us here in Calgary and or watch on YouTube. There was a gentleman that joined us, Mr. Chris Sotiropoulos, one of my best friends in the entire world, was on the show with us, and we had a great time. After the show, he also did the Greek show with us as well, and so...
For all that forget, he's the guy that I would save from a bear.
That's
not
right.
Mitch.
That's true. He wouldn't save me, even though I've done so much for him.
Yeah.
He would save you. Listen, unfortunately, Chris passed this past week. He had a 4-year battle with glioblastoma. That's brain cancer, for those that don't know. He fought hard. He was, in my humble opinion, he won the battle. There was no other way to look at it. That particular disease usually will take you out in 18 months. He lasted just under 4 years, and it's been a long week. It's been hard. I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. Me and the boys, his closest confidants, and of course his family and his little baby, that 5-year-old son that's left behind, are here, and we're battling through it. But I know for a fact Chris would have said to me, Mitch, you have to go and do the show. You got to do this. He loved the show. He was a fan of the show. He loved the Greek show that we do. So I just want to say to him and to everyone, so please, I'm going to ask for all the Greeks, don't tell your parents I'm doing the show right away, okay? Just don't tell them, because they're going to get upset with me or something. But this
recording's a week later.
This week,
it's a week later. Didn't happen.
Chris is the one thing. He just wanted everyone to laugh and have a good time. And that's what this show's all about. And so that's why I needed to do the show today. I need to get out of the house a little bit. My boy Karolis on the other side of me insisted that we do this together, and I absolutely agree. And I thank him. I thank you guys for listening. Let's have some fun. Let's start it off like we usually do. Let's get into the banter. Okay, so this week, Shannon Sharpe, he's on the Undisputed. He's with that Skip Bayless guy.
Skip.
Yeah. He was at a Lakers game. Lakers are playing the Grizzlies out of Memphis. They're going at it. This guy, Dylan Brooks, starts chirping with the LeBron. Next thing you know, everyone's going at it. And Shannon Sharpe, who, he used to play for the Ravens, has a Super Bowl, the Broncos, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now he's on Undisputed. He's on the sideline. He's good friends with LeBron. He gets up and he starts chirping, and all of a sudden, the bench is cleared. Now, thank goodness no punches were thrown. Sometimes you tend to forget how big these NBA guys are.
These guys are
big boys.
Big boys.
And so the topic of conversation was, wait a minute. If that was me or Dimitri getting up to stick up for LeBron, we would have been kicked out of the stadium right away. But because Shannon Sharpe, who's undisputed, and he's a past sports star, he gets away with it. A lot of people are a little upset about. What are your quick thoughts on this whole Shannon Sharpe getting up and badgering and saying things?
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what I think, because fast forward, he goes on his show and he issues an apology.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, perfectly said, Mitch. Altercation happened. Jay Moran's dad got involved too.
Yeah, that's right.
It was bedlam. It was bedlam.
Bedlam. Great word.
Great. I'm
writing that down.
Write that down.
Bedlam.
It was bedlam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see him I see the clip. He gets back on Undisputed with his show, Skip Bayless. If that guy can make it as a sports comment personality on his views of the game, I don't understand how we're not the top of the world. The guy bugs me. Anyways.
Oh, really?
Really?
I didn't catch on to that.
Hey! Screw you, Skip! That's your
hot take.
Your real
Amy,
name.
cut that out and put it out. Now that'll get
I
something.
challenge you, Skip. Forget Romo. I want you live.
The Romo. I forgot about the Romo.
That was a thing for a bit until he
yeah.
was on commentary, and I go, I like you.
Yeah.
I hate
true.
you. He's kind of Tony Romo is like, the boyfriend of the girl that you're trying to date, but he's just a good guy.
Yeah,
and it hurts, Mitch.
It's true.
It's tough.
True.
So anyways. So here's the problem I have. Shannon Sharp issues an apology, and he apologizes, and he kind of goes through it fast. But and I know why he's going through it fast, because this is my take.
Yeah.
I hate the world we live in where this guy has to go on and eat it, and apologize to Fox, and apologize to the teams, and apologize to the players and this person and his family and this and this and that. Because in the apology, and he sat there and said, I was wrong. And I'm like, why does he have to be the bigger man? In that apology, he turned around and he goes, it doesn't matter what was said or how many times, which all that said to me was, whatever was said to him was clearly offside. And you know what? I get it if he's a person, if it was me and you were out and he's a personality and you kind of play a little ball. But look, when you're a personality, that's part of the perks.
That's right.
That's like getting a backstage
It's
pass.
true. You got a point.
It's part of the perk of being it. So suck it up. But I want to know what that guy said, because you know what? Part of me thinks that he deserved for Shannon Sharp to get up and probably deserved to eat 5 fingers across the eyes.
Maybe you're probably that Dylan Bro. He has a reputation.
This is what I'm saying, Mitch.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. So if you're gonna mess with a guy on the sideline, like don't play with the fire if you don't want to get burned.
I think you're. I couldn't agree more. I will say, you kind of convinced me, because at first I was like, well, he thinks he's better, but you're right. He does have that. I mean, let's reverse it. What if it was Leonardo DiCaprio who goes to the games? What if it was Jack? I would have no problems with them because they're there. They might as well be part of the team. And if Shannon Sharp goes to that many games and stuff, and he's that personality, cool. Right. If Drew Barrymore got up, she's also a very regular at that. Andy Garcia, I've seen him at the games.
That's right.
I'm okay with any of these celebrities getting up. I think it would be quite entertaining. In fact, I now change my stance completely on it. I want more of it.
I want more, because then there's the other side. What if Shannon Sharp, or a celebrity, is a person who's chirping on the sideline? Should the players treat them different because they're just fans?
That's true.
And by the way, Andy Garcia, I don't know why you don't change your name to Benedict from Ocean's 11.
It's true.
It's a way better name.
Yeah, it's way better.
I love Andy Garcia.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
But Mr. Benedict,
great guy.
Casino owner.
Yeah, he played that beautifully.
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 At the Bellagio.
Yeah. Not Godfather 3. Ocean's 12. 10, 11, 12, whatever. 10, 11, 12, right. 13, whatever it was. The other little banter I want to do is get ready. Sunday, February 26th. It's on. I am actually, believe it or not, looking forward to this. It's Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul.
Yes.
Finally. This is what Jake Paul has been waiting for. He wants to fight. This is Tyson Fury's little brother or half brother, whatever. It doesn't matter. The brothers, they're fighting. He is a boxer as well. So finally we get to see Jake Paul against an actual boxing guy. I am pumped for it. He's a big boy. They're both big boys. This is going to be pretty good, this one, I think.
This is going to be fantastic. Here's what I like about it. I like a lot of things about this, actually. It's crazy that for all of you Jake Paul haters, and if you're fight fans, when this news came out, you're excited.
You got it.
You want to watch it. Listen, I'm a Jake Paul fan. I'm on board. I'm on board, and I'm trying to dissect it because, like, you know what? I think this is the point in time where he might, I think this is where he gets his first loss. Right? That's how my head's going into it. Is that he is a boxer. In Tommy Fury, he is a boxer. He's finally facing someone who is a boxer. I think the pressure is all like there's so much more pressure on Tommy Fury because your brother is still the lineal heavyweight champion of the world by right. Yeah. Still the heavyweight champion, fighting for the unified heavyweight. Like your brother has all these accolades, and here you are, and your father was a boxer, like all this stuff. But then there's Jake Paul. But conventional wisdom says this Tommy Fury guy, Jake Paul, you finally met your match. I'm not so convinced anymore because when I look at it and you sit here and you say the amount of fights that Tommy Fury has had is not that much more, if more at all, than how many Jake Paul has had.
Correct.
And Jake Paul has actually now called them MMA guys and people past their prime, but you still got in the ring with Anderson Silva.
True.
You know, you still got in there with some really high caliber fighting names.
Personally, I think Anderson Silva was the only real big name. Like,
no, I would put Woodley in there. I think a guy like Woodley underestimated a lot.
I think you're right, but Woodley was never known to be a crazy striker. Like, he was more of a striker than Ben, for sure.
Right.
He's much more of a striker than Nate Robinson, a basketball player.
I'm not 100%.
So I do agree with you. I do agree. You still got to get in the ring. You still got to
You still got to do it.
You still got to do it.
The Anderson Silva one, I think, impressed a lot of people, as old as he is, because I remember Dana White saying, you try getting in the ring with Anderson Silva. Okay, well, I did, and I just knocked him down, and I won.
Yeah.
So this is intriguing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in boxing this year. You know me, I love my boxing.
Well, there's another one.
Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, they're going at it.
They're going at it. Unification, Usyk, Fury.
Yes.
There's another one.
Yes.
Deontay Wilder, Ruiz. There's another one.
But did you see how good Ruiz looks now? He looks fantastic.
He's more dangerous now than ever.
I would say so. Like, dude, should have went on that diet a little while ago. He looks great.
Yeah, he's fast, man.
Yeah.
He's a fast counterpuncher. It's crazy.
Finally, last one. It's another boxing one. It is Tyson Fury. He's calling out Francis Ngannou, who now has been stripped of his title at the UFC heavyweight title, and he's asking for this. This is what Tyson Fury has told Francis Ngannou. Let's go at it. Let's do it. Like, it's going to be a real fight. 4-ounce gloves in a cage. Mike Tyson as the referee. Boxing only. Who do you got?
Fury.
Buddy, 4-ounce gloves?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, Mitch, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I know where you're going with this, right? You got to remember a boxing glove,
Right.
and a UFC glove is total weight.
Okay.
When you're doing the ounces, it's total weight. So you got to remember, like when you're doing a boxing glove, it's counting the wrist, everything over here. Okay. So if you actually look at the I'm not saying like the padding, yes, on the UFC gloves, is a lot less because they grapple, right?
Yeah, right.
However, when you actually look at the padding of what a 10-ounce boxing glove is at the front, there's not that much difference. The only difference is on the inside when they actually do the big wraps, right? Just for the rest. So it's not as much as you think. If anything, the disadvantage to the boxer is when you can't parry, and check punches off the glove as much as maybe you're used to, but that won't matter.
Really?
That won't matter.
You know what this is? This screams WrestleMania to me. Screams WrestleMania.
Like, that's where you have to put it, eh? Or
that's where I would say.
That's your Super Bowl halftime show.
Now say, hey, I love me my Rihanna. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I get it, and you're right, but it's Rihanna, man.
The only thing that bugs
Under
me...
my umbrella.
Ella.
Actually, weird segue. There's something about that later.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious. I just thought of it. I forgot I wrote it down.
So
You'll
good.
see.
Who do you got? Ngannou, Fury. What would you say to that?
Well, here's the thing. I've unfortunately, I've never given Tyson the love because I look at him and I'm like, the guy's a little bit of a potato, right? Like
he looks like me under the covers.
But he's literally my favorite boxer of all time. Like he has won me over by far. But then you look at a guy like Ngannou and the guy's so huge and intimidating. I'm like, one punch, you should die. I don't know, but then you know what? He's fought Wilder twice, who's also a machine. You're right.
3 times.
3 times. You're right. Sorry. You're right. You know what? You convinced me again. You're 2 for 2.
I'm 2 for 2.
You're 2 for 2 today on the show.
That's what I'm saying,
this
Mitch.
Is how.
Just
can we
listen,
just say
man.
this is how much I've been affected this week.
I was going to say you're really grieving.
I'm grieving.
You're
man.
really grieving. I'm taking advantage of you. Almost like Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers. Like I'm just I'm chazzing you right now.
It's exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Dimitri. You're right. You're right. Whatever you say. Hey, you need a ride home?
He's right. He's right. Okay, from there, let's get to the NHL. It's Dump and Chase. We'll start with a little power play list.
Okay.
At number 5, they're on a 5-game heater. You know I love me my heaters. It's the Buffalo Sabres.
Love it.
At number 4, it's the second best team in the league. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Watch out.
At number 3, it's the second best team in the NHL. They're tied. It's the Hurricanes.
I would even put the Leafs over the Hurricanes as of late.
At number 2, it's last week's number 1. They're at number 2. They were staying at number 1, but then I said, nah, you gotta respect. It's the Seattle Kraken at 2.
Surprised they're not number 1, Mitch. Surprised they're not number 1. But you called it. You called it.
But at number 1, it's Boston. And here's the reason why.
Jeez.
They literally have a 12-point lead on Toronto, on the Hurricanes, on anybody else. Like, they are so far ahead. It's crazy. We do say it almost every week, but this Boston team, a little piece of me is like, I can they actually keep this going the way they're going? Is this the best team that's ever existed? Like, they just keep winning.
You know, barring a Stanley Cup or two.
Yeah.
But is this the new Detroit type of just? Yeah. But they don't. It's so weird. Like Bergeron and Marchand, I guess they're really not that old, are they? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I agree.
We think this is a team that just like when Chara left, especially was they peaked, they got no one left. Yeah, Pasternak's in, but
yeah.
I mean, but you know, you forget like these McAvoys and Charlos and these the guys. DeBrusk. Ullmark.
See?
Ullmark.
We know sports. We know a couple
we
things.
know.
Yeah.
We know.
No, I don't know. This team just
crazy.
Can't lose.
It's crazy.
Can't lose. But teams that are really good at losing, they're on the shorthanded list. At number 5, it's the Blackhawks. They're at number 5 because they beat the Flames. Oh, look at that. Look at who's at number 4. The Calgary Flames.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Coyotes at number 3. The Ducks at number 2. And literally, I know, okay, a lot of people are going to be, well, they beat the Oilers the other night. No, the Blue Jackets still suck. I don't care what anybody says. They're not a good team. I watched them play the other night, and yeah, you know what? They're grimy, sure, they're here and there, but there's not enough talent. Sorry, it is what it is. I'm not sorry. That's it. I'm done. From there, let's get into a couple of news and notes over in the Dump and Chase segment. I do want to talk a little bit about the Calgary Flames. Here's a team.
Okay.
I saw Johnny Hockey. Saw him at church the other day. All right.
How's his flow?
The flow's good. He cut the flow, but it still flows nice.
Okay, so he's nice. More of like a lake than he was an ocean.
I would say, yeah, that sounds great. Okay. And it's beautiful. And so I said to him, I go, Johnny, what's up with this 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss? And why can't we beat these crappy teams? We didn't lose to Columbus. We ended up taking them overtime win, fine, but we should have won that game. We were up 2-0.
First of all, how poetic was it though that John Goudreau had the turnover in overtime?
I know
that was nice. Like, welcome to Cal, you son of a bitch.
You son of a
yeah.
And then they get worked by the Blackhawks.
Worked.
One of the worst teams all year long.
I think that was the second time this year the Blackhawks have.
They beat us both times, absolutely. And so for me right now, and here's the other little thing I want to throw at Dimitri, is that you got a Flames team that's winning 1, losing 1, winning 1, losing 1, and then you look in the crowd. The whole week and leading up to this, even this podcast, we've been saying, oh, wait until John gets here. We got a little boo for him. And we give the guy a standing ovation. Now, I get it on one end, but I don't get it at all, and I'll tell you why. Because this is why this team can't seem to win. We can't decide what we want to do. We hate you, we love you. We hate you, we want to win this one, we lose this one. I was so mad when we gave him a standing ovation. I swear to goodness, I was. Because, guys, he screwed us. He legitimately held this team back from doing. Now, everyone's like, well, look, Trey Livingston made the trade. Yeah, he did. And guess what? That trade isn't working out the way we all thought it was going to, is it? So I'm really sorry, Flame fan and me included. No, you know what? No, Flames fan that were at that game, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you for standing up. Anyone that stood up for John and gave him a standing O, you guys are all wimps. End of the convo.
Yeah. No backbone, no nothing. Where's your sense of pride?
Come on.
Oh, he screwed us. We hate him. And a standing ovation for Johnny Gaudreau. Yay, we love you. Thanks for coming back.
Garbage.
Come on.
Garbage.
This is what happened. What happened to society, man?
Yeah.
This is how rivalries were built.
Exactly.
You want to come into this building, you're going to get booed. No, we don't like you anymore. You're not wearing the jersey. We don't like you anymore.
That's right.
Unless you're at Wayne Gretzky status.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
The answer is no. So yeah, Flames fan, you wimp, you coward. Unbelievable. I can't, because he did leave the whole team high and dry.
Yes.
And here's the other problem is when you listen to all the fans on social media and everything, what they're saying, I've actually never seen a fan base. Sorry, I should rephrase. I've never seen the Calgary fan base this upset ever in my life of a player wanting to leave.
It's so much nostalgia. Like, people fall for these dumb little things where they're like, well, he's here now, we better be nice. No! Boo him. Did you see what they were doing? His teammates at practice were booing him with the puck to prepare him for the boos that he should have gotten at the beginning, during, and end of the game.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
You guys, he's okay. He's got $9 million. He lives in Columbus. He did exactly what he wanted to do, but you guys wanted to get up and give him a standing ovation for what? We see him once a year now. And you guys go and pat him on the back. Way to go, John. Thanks for leaving us. Come on, you guys. Like, I was so mad, man. Granted, my friend also passed, so I was grieving. But this really made me mad. Chris was mad too. Everybody was mad.
It's unbelievable.
All year long, I've been talking about how the guys cut us down, and this is how you guys repay the sports show? This is how you do it?
Brutal, Mitch. It's brutal.
Man. Speaking of brutal, let's talk about Jim Dolan over in the New York Rangers. So he's the owner. A lot of people just don't understand this guy and like this guy, and here's just another reason why. So he's getting investigated by the Liquor Commission over in New York, and he goes, oh, you guys want to look in my files? You guys want to come over here to Madison Square Gardens, the most magical place on earth? Guess what? I'm shutting down all liquor sales. He hasn't said which game yet, but he's going to, you're going to show up at the game, you're going to walk up to a beer stand, and that beer stand's going to be closed, Ranger fan. They're not sure which game it's going to be, to protest that the Liquor Control Board wants to check into your files or do an investigation of some kind. So he's willing to take a $1.4 million hit to prove his point. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I hate it. I don't know what's going on in this world.
This is the greatest Greek move of all time. I'm convinced he's Greek.
He must be.
I'm convinced he's Greek.
He must
because
be.
The Greek way is this, Mitch. Whenever the conglomerate comes after you, you grandstand how you're bigger than them.
Right.
And I love this playbook. Well, you're going to mess with me. Well, you think it means nothing. They're gonna be like, yeah, okay, so you lost money, big deal. Anyways, we're still enforcing the rule. I'm sorry to tell you, but I think I love what it represents.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Here's the X factor. It's New York,
Right.
so the people will come together for him.
True.
And they will be very vocal about it.
They might say
because they're the type of people that won't have the AGLC come in and give them a standing damn ovation.
That's right.
Yay!
Yay! Oh, yeah! What's away?
Liquor laws! Woo!
Yes! Yeah.
That's
Morons!
That's a fan base.
Worst fan base in the league. Done.
Yeah.
Oh.
We might as well be the Calgary Coyotes. I said it.
Yeah.
I said it.
That's the name of the podcast.
The Calgary Coyotes.
Bruce Boudreau, fired. Speaking of crappy organizations.
What? Hold on a sec.
What happened?
They went through with it?
Yeah. So, hey, hot topic, big news, breaking news, you guys. Bruce got fired. I know, right? Like, no one saw it coming.
I know I made an analogy last week, but it just occurred to me, too. This is the greatest analogy on the topic. This is like working for Greeks at a restaurant. Where they're like, listen, Bruce, we're letting you go. But here's the thing. We need you to stay one more month.
Yeah, I have to go to
After we
Greece.
fired you, I have to go to Greece. And I need you to train the new manager. Okay? And then 2 weeks into the Greece trip, Bruce, hi. Could you stay until the 3 more months? I'll pay you cash.
But you're still fired. You're still fired. You're still fired.
You're still fired.
No,
Okay?
no WCB. No.
Oh, man.
Under table. Yeah. Oh my God.
Damn
What?
coach. Damn it.
Thoughts on Bruce out and talk it in?
The writings were on the wall so many weeks,
Of course.
/ months ago. I mean, just cut. Yeah. Finally, just do it. It was handled terribly. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off. If you know you're going to let someone go, just let someone go. Or keep your mouth shut until you line it up. It just that's bad, actually. That's a misconduct.
Rutherford, their hockey operations guy, he was on during the presser. He's like, well, he was kind of blaming the media. He's like, it's kind of your guys' fault. Okay, Rutherford, listen real quick here. The whole reason of media is to tell people things that go on, both good and bad, in the world of sport. And when you decide that you're going to fire somebody and the news gets out, their job is to tell us what's happening. So I don't know how else to say that we gave a standing ovation to a guy that left us high and dry for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. But we're not bitter about it. We're just pointing it out.
Just pointing it out.
You meant you couldn't have said it better. You're like, well, it's your guys' fault for spreading it. You're right. They are the media. It's what they do. That's actually really funny. That might be your best take 2023 so far.
Yeah, thank you.
That might be your best.
Finally, yesterday, the greatest of all time, it was his birthday. Mr. Wayne Gretzky. What's your favorite Wayne Gretzky moment of all time? What's the first? I say Wayne Gretzky, what moment comes to your head?
You know what? It's a two-part, or it's a two-person moment, actually. My favorite Wayne Gretzky moment is Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Olympics, Olympic gold, just seeing it's seeing the two of them together, but classic Gretzky, just setting everything up for ultimate glory. That's the first one.
The Canada Cup one?
That's the first one that comes to mind for me because it was just such a big moment. How about you?
Two-parter for me. One is when he got traded. I have that picture of him wiping his eye, that one. And then the clapper against Vernon, top corner in the playoffs against the Flames. I don't know why. That one just sits in my head. I don't know why.
Yeah, the other play that sits in my head is when he went to LA and he just had that same thing, that turnaround one-timer. That was excellent too. Yeah, the Kings, man, you know what? It's crazy to think that a player at that time could go to LA, even from a business standpoint. And I'll say this, the Los Angeles Kings might have been a franchise over the years that maybe would have folded and crumbled.
Yeah.
But Gretzky really turned that into what an LA franchise should be, of celebrity status.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah. He when it was his birthday, Instagram like blew up. And I mean, you saw all these stats that he still carries. I mean, it looks like one's going to fall, but everything else is his forever and ever. It is crazy. Yeah. What he did for that, quick little tidbit. He talked to his dad right when he got traded. Believe it or not, the trade was supposed to be with Detroit. I
heard that actually.
Yeah, the trade was to Detroit. And when he talked to his dad goes, listen, you could go to Detroit, but because obviously Gordy was there, he goes, don't go there, go wherever, go to LA. And they came up with this plan to do exactly like basically the media tour. Go to LA, one day you'll go to St. Louis, Midwest USA, and then off to the Rangers. I mean, these guys, even his dad was the guy behind the net going, all right, no, don't go there, go here, go. Pre-thinking it. There should be a statue erected of both Gretzkys.
Yeah,
like
what's
everywhere.
That? Walter, right?
Walter, that's
Gretzky.
right. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I will say this. This is one of the few times where you have a parent who is involved, but is involved in a way that actually helped his career, because he was a great sounding board for him in council.
Yeah. Absolutely.
His father, right? Where you could see other people where it's like, maybe you shouldn't be so involved, right?
Exactly.
No, it could be like Jack Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, you could just give your money to your parents. And they literally spend it all.
Yeah. What'd you do? Money? What money?
Oh, what?
What from the contract?
You play.
Oh.
I thought you worked over at...
You still doing that?
Oh. I didn't see any checks. Did you see any checks?
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
Poor guy.
It's not good. Speaking of that, we go over to... I don't know how to segue this one. We're going to the NFL. Why? Because, hey, the divisionals were done last week. Let's do a quick recap of what happened. It was Cincy at Buffalo. Dimitri's been calling it, man, listen, I'm grieving. And so I'm letting you guys all know, I'm weak right now.
Slide over, honey.
I'm weak right now, but the kid's on fire. I got to give him his accolades. He's fire. He called it. Cincinnati goes into Buffalo and said, yeah, no problem. Everybody and their dog had Buffalo as basically at least going to the Super Bowl. Since he said, not this year, sorry, boys. We need to get back to that AFC Championship game. We liked that Super Bowl thing. We kind of liked it. Since he goes into Buffalo and busted him in the mouth, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, so there was, you look at a game like that and you say, did Cincy play great and did Buffalo play bad?
Mm-hmm.
After watching the game, this is what it's come down to. Cincy played exactly how Cincy played, and Buffalo played exactly how Buffalo plays.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mitch and I were texting back and forth, and then you were saying, you're like, the guys, and I'm sure maybe it's in your take, but the guys... The guy, Josh Allen, he's not a killer.
No.
And then I'm like, you know what? He's a regular season killer.
Yeah.
He's a regular season killer. He's not a playoff killer.
No.
And you just saw the tail of the tape between these two people. Cincinnati, like we forget, they made the Super Bowl last year. Josh Burrow, remember the beginning of the year, everyone's freaking out. It's like, just relax. The team comes together. Everything about them is great. But they really, really beat them.
Yeah.
They really beat them. And it's just, Cincy is a better team than the Buffalo Bills. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, my whole thing is, and we're going to get to it, but my whole thing is that, in a perfect world, and we'll get to the other side where I said Cincy Dallas is like my hot take, final of the whatever.
Well, we'll get to you, Dak.
We'll get to you. Hot take, final, whatever. And I did, I picked up Buffalo just to hedge my bet because I figured maybe they had the bounce back game. Because they do have a team, you guys. It's not, and that's the thing, right? If you go and you have Buffalo against the KC, I'll tell you this, I'm picking Buffalo 9 times out of 10. It's just these teams seem to have the number a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, but Cincy, man, I'm telling you, everyone kind of, I think everyone gave the Chargers what they gave Cincy last year, this year, and stopped talking about them because you got the Baltimore scenario. You got everything was working against them to kind of, just to kind of work their way into it. But it's not that Buffalo played bad. This is the Buffalo Bills playoff team, and it needs work, and it needs more assets, and it just... Buffalo and Dallas, to segue to the other side, to me, it is quite evident, are actually the same team. One is blue and silver, the other's blue and white, okay? But they're the same team. Capable quarterbacks, all-around roster, decent, but they can't put it together.
Yeah. Well said. No, I you know what? You said it all. I'm not going to say it, but I think I just want to say this. I was right about Josh Allen. I go over to Kansas City against the Jags.
Now you got me convinced.
Kansas City, you know what? Kansas City got a huge scare, and they're still maybe scared, and we'll see tomorrow how it goes out. They end up beating the Jags kind of handily, I'll be quite honest. Like, the Jags made it a game a little bit at the end, but that's because Patrick Mahomes went down early in the second quarter. They weren't sure what was going to happen. Is he going to come back? I mean, this team literally is a different team without him at the helm. He came back. He ends up winning. Patrick Mahomes healthy is a scary Kansas City team. Andy Reid is the best coach in the National Football League by a mile. The Jags, hey, I'll give you this. You guys are on your way. Good luck. Next year, you guys are going to probably be the easy favorite in the AFC South. But it's KC taking on Cincinnati, AFC Championship game. I'll be honest, this is the matchup I wanted. This is the matchup I think most people wanted Buffalo for a variety of reasons. This is the true matchup. If you're a real football fan, this is the better matchup.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first. I'll say it right now. It's in KC. KC's favored by 2 points. Ladies and gentlemen, Cincinnati's going to go to the Super Bowl for the second straight year. This team right now is feeling good. Their defense, and this is the difference. Their defense is just a little bit better than Kansas City's defense. And here's the other thing. The pressure is not as much as it is on Kansas City. I talk a lot about pressure each and every week because I do think it'll eventually rear its head. It hasn't lately. I think the injury to Mahomes is a real thing. I think Kansas City in the backfield is not as good as Cincinnati. And I think Cincinnati's defense just has a little bit better presence. I'm taking Cincy. Give me the 2 points and Cincy off to the Super Bowl.
I agree with everything that you said, and you touched on even the defense as well. I equate it right now. Cincinnati's a team. They're the boxer right now. They're winning the rounds. They're feeling the good. They're so confident that they're dropping their hands a little bit and just weaving and wobbing with their head. They're just not sweating anyone in the ring right now. it's funny with KC, number one team in the AFC, Super Bowl champions. Fair to say best quarterback in the league, right?
Easily, sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And on top of all that, still kind of has this underdog under the radar, whatever. I agree. The Jacksonville win, it's not that Jacksonville played so good that they made it close. They actually handled them quite easily. Just they had that blip in the radar, and you're forced to change the way you play a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Chad Henne is not Patrick Mahomes. Just saying.
Cincinnati does not fear any team.
No.
And they don't care. And that injury to Mahomes is the nail in the coffin for me. I have Cincinnati. I like the points. What is it, 2?
Two.
It's 2?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think Cincinnati is going to come up and hit him in the jaw pretty early.
I think so too. I do. I think this could be a little bit like Buffalo. Come in, smash them, and then the fan base and their sidelines are going to be like, what just happened?
Like, people forget that Cincinnati had that grimy game.
Yeah.
You know, to Baltimore, right? To really like work things out and come as a team. Then they're a team that goes and plays the Buffalo Bills, who a guy collapses on the field. They have the feel-good story of the year. Like, Buffalo should have won on storybook principle alone. And they said, no. You guys screwed us for our home field.
I guess you could look at it that way. Yeah, sure.
And now they're going to come in and they're going to rock the number one team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Because, ladies and gentlemen,
hey, how you doing?
I'll tell you when we get there. I told Mitch behind the scenes, but I've learned my lesson. When I make bold predictions, I love to be fun. But my real predictions, I'll tell you if I was right when I was done. Yeah. We all know where we're going with this.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
We go over to the NFC. It was the number one ranked Philadelphia Eagles waiting for who? It was their arch rivals, the New York Giants. Giants coming off a big win against Minnesota. They're feeling good. They're feeling great. They're like, hey, guys, we got this. They walk into Philly fan, and they got smashed again in the mouth. Philly came out going, what'd you say about us? And, hey, Jalen Hurts being on the roster is the real thing. Let's just call it what it is. Hey, Dallas fans, everybody that's kind of making fun of Philly and Jalen. No, Philly is the number one ranked team for a reason. Philly, they're off to the NFC Championship game.
Easy. That was easy. Yeah.
Then the game of the week. I won't lie to you. I was really looking forward to watching it. It was Dallas at San Francisco. The game was, I didn't get to watch it all, unfortunately, but this is what I did see. That Dak Prescott did exactly what Dak Prescott was going to do. And Brock Purdy, ladies and gentlemen, man, you talk about storylines. This storyline just keeps growing and growing. So San Francisco off to the NFC Championship game. But Dimitri, what'd you think of this Dallas-San Fran game?
Yeah, I'm really upset. You know, my cop-out is this. But I've been saying it almost near all season, Mitch, so I don't feel bad. I said San Francisco is the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Everything, when you put it down on everything, San Francisco should be hoisting the Super Bowl, in my opinion, from week 1 to 2. Where you said Andy Reid's the best coach, I actually think Shanahan is the best coach.
You think so?
In the NFL right now.
I'll match you that.
This is a tight-knit group. So San Fran did exactly what San Fran should do. Play tight football. They utilize so many different resources. They stay composed. They're an excellent team. But here's why I'm upset with Dallas. Dallas, you had the game. The game was yours. You actually outplayed this team in the first half and came out with a tie. Came out with nothing to show for it. And again, this I say, Buffalo and Dallas, same team, but there's no killer instinct. There's no oomph. And for all you people that say, well, if Pollard didn't get injured, Dallas would have won. You know what? Screw you.
Yeah.
Because when you have your number 2 running back go out, I'm sorry to say, that should not be your excuse, Dallas fan, because you have Ezekiel Elliott still. And if you can't rely on Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott and CD, excuse me, how many more catches does this guy have to make? If you can't rely on your number 1 guy because your number 2 guy is out, I'm sorry. Yeah. Enough is enough. It's time. Blow it up. Blow it up. Or you tell Dak Prescott, listen, you have to be a company quarterback. He has to be a company quarterback. No more free will, no more whatever. You do what the play calling says
Agreed.
that you do. They should have beat the San Francisco 49ers. It was their time. It was their year. They had every opportunity to do so, and they screwed it up, Mitch. They would have gone into Philadelphia. They would have dummied Philadelphia because they know how to.
Yeah.
It's a divisional game.
That's right.
And they would have been in the Super Bowl.
All correct. I'll say this. Dak Prescott is $40+ million a year. There was a guy that, he was lighting it up. Cooper Rush. Just saying. Remember last week I talked about goalies, go with the hot hand. I'm not saying Dak didn't, had a horrible year or anything. I'm just saying you're down. He's not playing very well during the game. It's your last game. If you don't win this game, you got to get into desperation mode. I don't know why everyone just has to keep doing the traditional things. Like literally, I feel like if I was ever the head coach of a team and I had, we're in the AFC championship games and anything like that. If I was the coach of Dallas and I'd say to myself, okay, Dak, you know what? You're going to sit down for just a second. Let me just see what this guy might produce maybe he'll throw an interception. Maybe he'll throw a touchdown. Maybe the team will just rally behind him. You're clearly not doing it. I got to change it up. I just don't know why you have to stick with something that was clearly not working from what I understand and watching the highlights all game long. And by the way, that last play of the game, what the heck was that? Like literally, what are you guys doing? One guy snapping the ball. Like, you've seen it work where if you're going to do the hook and ladders or the Hail Marys, they work in a traditional format. Put the offensive line out there and just huck the ball and go out and do it. And here's another last thing.
Ezekiel Elliott at center?
Yeah, man. He snaps it, and then the poor guy gets wrecked.
Barreled over.
Of course he did. The guy had a running start right at him, man.
That's like sending your little cousin who hey, let me come play with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, fine, you take center.
Yeah, and then Gary on the other side that doesn't care if the kid's 5 comes over and destroys them. Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
I don't like that one. See, that's on McCarthy. Like that one's on McCarthy.
Of course that's all. But it just made no sense.
Zeke, snap the ball. What? Excuse me? Huh? I think it was a punishment.
I think you
what?
might be right.
I think he's like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of you guys. Snap the ball. So, Dallas fan, I'm sorry, because here's the other thing. And Prescott, you threw a couple picks, man. You threw a couple avoidable ones. Like, this isn't even great ball management.
The first one was horrible.
And your defense bailed you out. They bailed you out, and
man.
you can't even do it. Come on.
Hey.
Come on.
So it's San Fran taking on Philly. Philly's favored by 2.5 in Philly. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, you know what? Believe it or not, as much as I say that San Fran should win the Super Bowl, as much as I say that San Fran's the best team, yada, 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 yada,
right.
I see Philly in the Super Bowl.
You like Philly, Kansas City, Super Bowl is what you're saying.
I like Philly.
Oh, sorry, Cincy, yeah.
Philly, Cincy, Super Bowl, yeah.
I'm going to take, you know what? I think it's Philly's year. I think you're right. I'm not going to lie to you. San Fran, and you're going to give me 2.5 points. It seems almost too appetizing. But I'm not falling for it, Vegas. I'm not falling for your little gimmicks. I like Philly as well, minus the 2.5. We'll find out next week. We'll talk about the Super Bowl in exhaustion next week. We're not going to talk about who's going to win the Super Bowl because we've got time. We're off to rapid banter.
Okay.
Here we go. Philly PD is greasing the polls prior to the San Francisco game tomorrow night. Olive oil or WD-40?
Olive oil. That's how I grease my pole. Is it?
Well, that's it for Rapid Banter. Earlier, we said Jim Dolan, owner of the New York Rangers, is thinking about stopping alcohol at the next Rangers game in a protest move. Smart move or dumb move?
I bet the crowd will hear those boos.
Stefanos Tsitsipas and Novak Djokovic playing in the finals of the Aussie Open. Who wins?
Tamara. For all those that know, they'll get that one. You'll get that one.
Yanni was named team captain for the NBA All-Star Game. Boring, or he should always be the captain.
He should just never leave the sea. I agree.
Today, in 1984, one of the greatest sports things happened. Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik to win the WWE heavyweight title. I got 24-inch pythons, or he is a real American.
What you gonna do, brother?
Great moment, by the way.
Amazing
Last
moment.
one, a priest who temporarily died said he went to hell and they played Umbrella by Rihanna for torture. Hell sucks, or I could deal with that.
What kind of priest goes to hell?
Buddy, yeah, I never even thought of that.
Like what the? Why would you admit that?
Why would? And you come back and people are like, "Oh my God, that's so funny, man! That's hilarious." That's a good point.
Guys, I went to hell and heard Rihanna. Whoa, wait
Wait
a second.
a minute.
You're running the sermons?
Wait,
Who confessed to this guy?
I have a
You can
feeling.
imagine, like, have you? It's been 4 days since my last confession. I had an affair. Get in line, sweetheart. You think that's bad? I've been stealing the money out of the collection plate. Don't worry about it. Your sins are forgiven. Now float me a 20.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, man. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what to say anymore. All right. It's Maga Malaka time. I only did one. It's birthday parties. Listen, it's Gretzky's birthday.
Oh.
I saw the pictures. It looked fun. And P.S., he's got maybe the most beautiful family of all time. It's up there. It's a good-looking family.
That includes Dustin.
That of course.
Of course.
Who are you talking about?
Dustin.
Yeah. So it's whose birthday party would you like to go to? Who do you want to?
Or whoever that priest is, because that sounds like a good time.
That priest, Maga or Malaka.
Maga.
Yeah,
Maga,
I think so.
Maga,
It sounds like a Maga party.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Michael Jordan. Would you want to be invited to Michael Jordan's birthday party?
You know what? No, I feel like he'd be a stiff about it.
I feel like it would be very competitive. Like he would have like games like pin the tail and the donkey, but he wants to win every game.
Like he would open everyone's presents in front of him and rate them in front of him.
I think you're right.
I don't think I want to go.
I don't think I want to go to that one either. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you said Jordan, we got to go to LeBron. Are we going to LeBron's birthday party?
You know, Malaka as
Yeah,
well.
I
I
think
think
so
it would
too.
be too formal.
I think it's like not what you're expecting.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Dimitri. Welcome
Hey.
to my.
You're like,
Who do you think you are?
who is this?
Who is this guy? What are you talking about?
I'm looking for LeBron's party. Well, this guy goes to a lot of Laker games. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Maga.
Now that's a party.
Now that is where I
Now
want
that's
to go.
where you want to go.
Oh yes,
That could be fun.
Whew, that's probably where the priest went.
I feel like his parties would be like that scene from Wolf of Wall Street where they do that party scene on the beach.
Totally.
Like he would basically
I
replicate
agree.
that party.
The average age of his party would be 22.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're bringing it up.
And we're bringing it.
Jake Paul. We talked about him earlier. Would you want to go to his birthday party?
You know what? Maga.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maga.
Could be fun.
Yeah.
And you know what? You never know. You can kind of give him a couple of jabs going, hey, man, I mean, I could fight you. And then you come out like with $100 million in
Easily.
your pocket.
It's amazing.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel we'd connect.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different one. Bon Jovi. Would you want to go to Bon Jovi's birthday party?
No, Malaka, I get he's a rock star, but he's too clean of a rock star.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna go rock star, I want to go to Ozzy
I
Osbourne's
feel like
party.
the playlist would be good though. I think I'd want to go
Yeah.
for the playlist.
The playlist will be good. I just think I don't know. It's not quite rock for me.
Old cousin Jim. Would you go to old cousin Jim's birthday party?
Maga, yes.
Yeah.
Judging by his charcuterie board, that was.
That's why I want to go.
I mean,
It's the charcuterie.
that alone just
Yeah.
really says
Yeah.
what the sets the tone. It
I'll
set
be
the
honest.
tone.
He's a fun little drinker too.
Is he?
He
I
doesn't
can
see
it.
He kind of plays it like he doesn't, but he does.
See, he's our kind of drinker. You sit
Right.
in the corner and make fun of people.
That's right. That's exactly his game.
That's what I
right.
that's what I live for.
That's right. Couple more. What about you know what? Since we're on the topic, South Carolina George. Would you want to go to South Carolina George's birthday?
Maga.
Maga is right,
Give
and
me
I'll
a
tell you what
chance.
it would be. WWE themed. I'll tell you that much.
That'd be amazing. You know how many tables would get broken at
A
that?
lot. It would be like a
unreal.
Bills Mafia WWE party.
Yeah, like there'd be beer cans that you'd use for like a no holds barred match.
Oh, I like that.
God, because they crack easy.
They crack
You got to
easy.
hit it from the
Yeah,
side.
you got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, two more. Here's one. Kawhi Leonard. Would you want to go to Kawhi Leonard's birthday party?
No,
I don't think so either.
Malaka,
Yeah, I
because
think so too.
he's too quiet for me.
Yep.
Happy birthday. Thanks.
Daryl Sutter.
That's a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna say Maga. You know why? Because he's got all the Cowboys on his side.
That's true.
Those guys can jam.
They can
That's
go.
a good.
That's
That's a
like
good party.
Yellowstone.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a Yellowstone birthday.
What I'm talking about.
Second last one. Aaron Rodgers.
Malaka. No, love the guy, but no.
It would be a dreamy
listen.
party.
I don't want to go to a party where you have to take psychedelics and talk about life.
See, I
I
disagree.
want to do that at a hot tub when I'm hammered,
Right.
But I don't want to do that at the beginning, where like when you're cutting the cake, and that's just what I feel what would happen there.
I'm coming. I'd love to see it. Aaron, invite me. I'll come. Last one. This one's a big one. I think this one's going to be the heater of all of them. I'll be quite honest. It's Ed Jablonski's birthday.
Come on, man. Are you crazy? That's Maga.
He's like, honey, I brought something home from work.
I would skip my own party just to go to Ed Jablonski's party.
Hey, Dimitri, it's Ed. You coming to my birthday party? Oh, my God, it's my birthday party. Yes, I'm coming.
I can't get down there, Ed. No problem, pal. I'll give you a ride.
You know I have Hall of Fame status. I'll send a truck for you.
The license plate says Dildo 4. He's just got a fleet of people.
Oh, Jesus.
Speaking of parties, nothing beats the party that happens on the sports show. Remember, at Sports Show Podcast, 2 S's in between. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, all streaming channels. You can get it. It's gorgeous. It's magnificent. It's beautiful. YouTube, Sports Show TV. Please subscribe to the channel. We're getting up there in numbers. The numbers are, slowly going there. We want to get a little bit more. Truly appreciate it. Do us a favor, like, comment, and share it. Just share it on your feeds.
Share it. Just be a friend.
Yeah, just be a friend. Share it on your feeds. Every little bit counts. You know what I mean? We're almost like the UNICEF of podcasts.
Yep.
We're just looking for a couple cents.
Just
couple cents on the dollar.
It'd be nice.
Shout out to Chris, our boy. May his memory be eternal. I want to tell you guys one thing. Mitch gave a spiel. I want to say one thing for him as well. He battled for a long time, and here's a guy who never stopped smiling and made sure that people around him were feeling good and feeling great. So I want you all to take one thing around. Life is tough. Life is hard, and we're all going through things. 1, always have the people around you. They're going to be there. But 2, be like Chris. Smile. Make it positive. Make it good. And that's what he gave to this world. So we're going to do that moving forward.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. That's actually exactly what I kind of wanted to say at the very end. And thank you for saying it. And it comes better from you because I'm his friend, so a lot of people would have been like, no. It's nice to see somebody else, a third party, say it. That's exactly it, guys. He smiled right to the end. I promise you that. He's a beautiful soul. I love you.
Did I steal your thunder?
No.
Did I steal it? Did I?
I'm glad you said. Honest to God, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, because if I feel bad, I stole your bit.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It comes better from you because people would expect that from me, right? You know what I mean? And so when it comes from somebody else that didn't see him as many times as I did, unfortunately. It's just, honestly, guys, he's a beauty. He was a beauty. I wish you guys all, thank you to the roster and everyone for listening to this and having him on episode 230. Trust me, he loved this stuff, you guys. So thank you for letting me, thanks for letting me kind of spill my guts today. This is therapeutic today. So thank you very much, everybody.
Have a good one.
Last one, Conor McDavid.
Yeah, I would, Maga.
What about Conor McGregor?
Definitely.
I'd be scared of that. That one just seems like everyone would fight each other.
There's a lot of testosterone at that birthday party. Yeah. There's a lot of testosterone. He got hit by a bike?
I saw. No, he was on the bike.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, he was on the bike.
Yeah, I saw.
He was on the bike.
Somebody's trying to take him out.
Oh, I forgot the tagline. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker, hit the showers. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was on the bike and he got hit by it.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. You know they drive on the opposite side.
Is that what was going on?
Maybe what happened.
And maybe that guy didn't know that.
Maybe that's...
Maybe they got crossed.
Maybe.
So, do you think
that he was drunk? Yeah.
So, here's my thing. Do you think that if Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury, does that McGregor fight happen? Do you get to a point where now it's like, okay, because people, this is what's crazy. He draws money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's in the, he's gained a lot of weight, meaning like muscle, like not fat. So yeah, I think it's within arm's length. Should he win? Yeah, I do. For Jake Paul, this is huge, man. If he wins this opens up so many more doors. For Tommy Fury, if he wins, it's not as big a deal. It's really not. Let's just call it what it is. It's a good name he beat, but he's still not a boxing guy. This is the ramifications the other way.
I disagree. If he beats Jake Paul, because Jake Paul brings way more people to the table. Who's Tommy Fury outside of some guy's younger brother? Right. It'll get him to be able to fight better people and on other pay-per-views, and people will want to see it because the name is fresh, right? So it will help his career, which is crazy. But so, what's the better scenario? A Jake Paul winning and just keep going.
Yeah, it is.
I agree.
Way better. It is.
I
way
agree.
Better. Let's call it it is.
I'm actually really
The only
rooting
other
for the
way
guy.
around it, like here's a slight and last bit maybe, is if Tommy wins, somewhere down the line he takes on his brother. But that's just not as fun as a Jake Paul taking on the other Fury. Do you know what I mean? Like Jake Paul fighting anybody going forward after this win is more exciting than if Tommy Fury wins and whoever else he's going to fight down the line.
That's right.
It just is.
Buddy, they're the new Klitschko's.
They're the new Klitschko's. Well, hey, Calgary fan, why don't you guys give that a standing ovation?
Give them a stand while you're at it. Yeah.
So you don't know me when it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.
DJSW, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.